Let's see. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Good morning. Good. How you doing?
Good. Can y'all see my screen?
I can. Yep.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to give it another minute and let others join in. Hope everybody is well this morning. We're live in the Facebook group. And if you are in the Facebook group and want to join the conversation, please do so by joining the Zoom. Let me make sure that I've got that shared to everybody. Let's see. Okay. We'll just go ahead and get started. Welcome to team meeting on the 10th of November. My goodness, it's hard to believe that it is already November. All right, tell me something good. Who's going to start us off with sharing something good? Don't be shy.
I did get a meeting with the for sale by owner down the street. He's going to be a little hard simply because he is stuck in his way of selling it at what he wants to sell it at. So I made him a deal not a deal. I just told him, I said, if it has not sold in 2 weeks, you really need to reconsider talking with me.
Yeah.
Because he has it listed way too high.
For sure. And just keep, sending him that information. He would be one that I would put on that monthly neighborhood nurture, but not a month, so that it can keep sending specific information to him.
Yes.
And if it's overpriced, it's definitely not going to sell in 2 weeks. So.
Well, not only that, I even offered him he's down the street from me. I know what my home is worth. I know what we're planning on listing ours is at when we get ready to list it. I even told him that, and even offered him to come look at the upgrades we already have in our house compared to what he doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, in nicer words, I pretty much told him, I bet you if I put mine on the market now, it'll sell before yours.
Mm. Well, you just keep touching them and being persistent with it. And that the market, and these for sale by owners, you have a lot of, you think that you can do something before you try it, right? So you have a lot of confidence in saying, oh, I can sell it myself, or I don't need a realtor, or this, that, and the other. So only time will tell. And so you just keep touching him and coming from contribution, and it will pay off.
I am.
All right. Who else has something good to share?
I got a listing presentation yesterday for this coming Friday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm showing buyers today 5 houses this afternoon.
That is awesome. So you've got a buyer agreement, you're working with a buyer, and you've got a listing presentation appointment this week.
For Friday, yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. Where did you get that listing?
For sale by owner yesterday. It was one that was online, didn't have a number or picture, so I just drove by. It kind of met the description for the buyers, and so I just kind of presented them with that, and then led it into my scripting that I've been practicing, and they ate it up. So
is this the for sale by owner you were telling me about the other day, or is this a different one?
Different one. That one I'm following up with them. I told him I'd give him 2 weeks. He's got it. They're in Birmingham, and their dad owns the property here in town, and they also have a farm Bullitt County and a house on Lake Martin. So they're that's why they've been sitting on it for almost 200 days.
Awesome. Well, way to go.
Follow up with him. Yep. So hopefully I can get that listing as well.
Go after it. Go after it. And that's one thing you probably heard a lot about in Bold too, is the scripts to go after for sale by owners. And that's something we've been talking about as well. How to do that, strategies and tactics. Who else has something good to share this morning?
I do.
Good news already. So
Me.
Oh, okay, Slade.
Hey, We have a listing that's been on hold over in College Grove on East Rutgers. And the reason is they put new carpet in, blinds, painted inside and out, and we're about to put it back on the market here in a day or two for 109. So that one will be out there. We did put Madison back on the market, didn't we, Shacarol? We were out of town, and Shacarol was, we asked her to go over there, and she showed the house, and we had about 3 or 4 showings this weekend. So that's good. That's the one, Justin, you were, we worked the open house.
Right, yeah.
And then Green Chase over in Town Lakes is back on the market. Not necessarily good news, but it will sell. And the best news of all is I can get into command now after about a week, about a week's worth of trying to figure out what was wrong. KW support tried, but I figured it out myself this morning early. So there you go.
Nice.
Way to go. Add that to your resume, Slade. All right, who else? One more, come on. It's been some really good news shared this morning. All right, I know someone else on here has good news to share. Tiffany, are you with us? Tiffany McCall? All right, I'll let y'all pass.
I'll piggyback off of Slade. I know one of the people that I showed the Madison Avenue home to, they really, really, really love the home. They're just trying to figure out this week if their job is going to keep them in Montgomery. So hopefully it doesn't sell before then, but if it does, good for Slade and Kim.
That's
Hey,
right.
Katie.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I was trying to take this, Tiffany. Sorry, I was trying to take the phone off of mute. Yeah, so good news. A lot of my calling is starting to, and marketing is starting to kind of hit. So I had a couple of people give me a call back from like just, some mailers that I sent. So yeah, I'm trying to get them to the table as far as listing their homes.
That's great. And you just had your first Montgomery closing.
Right. Super excited. Grateful.
Yay. That's awesome. Well, we had some really good news to share. Slade, you got something else? Did you raise your hand? Are you signaling? All right. Well, that's fabulous. I love hearing it when our good news is literally like, we've got listings, we've got listing appointments, we work with buyers. That is always good to celebrate. And on the topic, Keller Williams, let somebody in. Keller Williams has actually had our best quarter ever as a company. And then I'm going to share this video with you. And then we're going to talk about how our office has also had a record-breaking month. So very exciting to celebrate this morning. Does that not just get your blood pumping? That's kind of exciting, right? I mean, Keller Williams has just celebrated our best year ever in the history of the company. And this quarter has superseded all others. So that's pretty phenomenal. When you hear on the news, what do you hear? It's a bad market. The world is ending, right? That's pretty awesome. Pretty incredible to get to share that. Why did it, let's see. There we go. Okay, and just to update everybody that may not have seen this, we are having a new way to share the calendar. We have a bit.ly, which is a just small link so that you don't have to go find the calendar every time or go through intranet. If it's not synced up to your personal calendar, which there's a way to do that. I've done a video inside our Facebook page. It's at the top in announcements on how to sync up the calendars. But this is also a QR code. So what you do is just open your camera on your phone and hold it over the QR code. It'll open the link. Anything that's edited is going to be edited. It's a live calendar. And so all of the links inside of there should be up to date. So we're just trying to keep it very simple and attainable for everyone. So you don't have to have a master's in Google Calendar to be able to get into our training. So there's that. Here's kind of a glimpse overall of what we got going on in November. The office is going to be closed tomorrow for Veterans Day. And I'm going to share with you guys that KW has done some content you guys can use for the Happy Veterans Day posts and things that you may want to send out. We will be having our executive leadership retreat tomorrow. Let me let somebody in. But the office will be closed. And so whoever's on phone duty gets the phone that day. And if you need something, just be sure to email it in and it will be handled on the 12th. We have career night. This has not been updated. So career night actually has been changed from the 12th to later on the 30th. So it's not tomorrow, but the last bold is tomorrow. And so before we move forward, I do want to take a minute after we look at this calendar and just hear from our bold people on what you guys are thinking, what you guys are learning, and what y'all are applying to your business. We will be having 2 Path to Getting Paid this month, and we'll be having a business planning clinic again. So something to note also, next Tuesday, we will not be having business meeting. We have a leadership ALC meeting that we will all be in attendance for. And so we will not be having a business meeting. Let's see. Here is a glimpse at Scott Leroy's November calendars. He has things on rotation. We've been integrating some of these into our calendar so that you guys just can see some of the overviews, the command, how to use the app, things like that. But he offers a lot more than that. And these are the live classes. He has one link that leads to all of his classes. And then he also has archive stuff. So if you see something on here and you're like, man, I really kind of want to learn a little bit more about it, you can either jump in the live class or check out the archive. Cool thing about the archive is if you're at a place where you have 2 devices, you can kind of pause what he's doing and pull it up on your own. So whether you're drafting your website, customizing that, or customizing your app or getting into command, you're able to kind of pause and go back and forth, which is neat for me. We have some invitations that have been shared out via Facebook, and they're Eventbrite links to the career nights. The reason we do Eventbrite is for 2 reasons. We have 2 opportunities this month, and we've doubled down on that, is to have something easy for you guys to share. And so you don't have to personally be like, hey, this is how you get here. I'll meet you there. You can literally share the link. We know who's coming. You shoot me or the front desk an email saying, hey, I'm expecting, Susie to come. I'll give them a warm welcome on your behalf. And I can also note them as your referral in command, because just like you guys have a command, we have a command, and I'm keeping up with who is referring me who. And that way, when they join, we can be sure to remind them, hey, Shacarol invited you to career night. And that may have been 6 months ago, right? Because sometimes it does take a while for them to eventually join us or come. And so I just always want to be mindful. And then I can say, hey, Shacarol, guess what? Susie came to career night. That's awesome. We're going to follow up when she finishes class. Or, hey, she was thinking about getting in real estate, but she signed up. All of that is, the reason that we ask for you guys to, 1, share this and invite people, and 2, just let us know who you've invited. Our business planning clinic, we also have an Eventbrite link for that. I texted out several people yesterday. Invite your co-op agents, because this is a little secret that you guys may not know, but all offices, we are Market Center, all real estate offices don't have conversations like this. I'm not saying that anyone is better or worse than the other. It's different conversations sometimes. And so this business planning clinic is not something that every office of every agent you know is going to be offered. So it could be an opportunity that some of your co-op friends would like to take to plan 2021. The conversations of goals and business planning and looking to the future and economic model, that is kind of a KW, right? That's kind of a KW conversation more so than you would just say it's popular in most brokerage offices. So just invite people. You never know who might find value in that. It's free to attend. We just need to know who's going to come so we can print the workbooks out. It's great content. I'm going to highlight some of that today. But be sure that you yourself, one, take care of self first, put your oxygen mask on first. You're going to be attending business planning clinic. We will only have this one in November and we'll have one in December to wrap up the year. So there's only going to be 2 more opportunities to attend. It's a half-day event and it's a workbook. So you're going to go through and literally make a plan for your business for 2021. So be sure that you have that on your calendar. And then here is the second flyer for the second career night. My clicker's not working. Another fun announcement that I'm going to make is we're moving. KW Montgomery, you may see a sign on the front that's been put up by our leasing company. Do not be alarmed. We're not moving in the dead of night. We have been making plans, as most of you have known, to look at another facility and move our office so that we can accommodate and do some different upgrades and things. And we've got a really super secret, awesome plan. We are moving, staying in the Halcyon area. We will be closer to East Chase and it will be our own building. So we're going to have a lot more freedoms as far as parking, as far as interior space, as far as agent offices. And we're very excited about it. And so no one be alarmed when you see the for lease sign that's going to go in the door or in the window. We are moving. We will continue to communicate with you guys. We're working on some details of that. And when we have the architect draw up the drawing, we're going to share that with you guys. And so we're planning probably hopeful for January. So as those plans solidify and we have some more details, we'll be sure to share them with you guys. But it's very exciting and we're thrilled to be able to do that. So hooray, KW Montgomery. Let's see now. Let's look at our numbers real quick. And I know this is y'all's favorite portion of our meeting, right? When we start looking at these percentages. Right, Shacarol? You're here with me, right? You're right here. So KWRI, this is their numbers. And the reason we look at that is just to do a comparison of one, we say we're the largest company, the best company, so much growth. Well, here is the proof in the numbers. As we know, month over month, our company at a whole and our individual local offices close the books and transmit. And so that's where you'll see these numbers coming from. In the first column, month over month, and then year to date total. So I want you to take a little look at this and see all the pluses. You're going to see a plus for anything as positive growth is over 10% growth. Okay. So a negative is going to be looked at. Anything under 10% is going to be that negative. And the reason we do that is from the model in the MREA of the red light, green light. And so we don't just recommend that you guys do that. We do that as a company at whole. Okay. So we're going to be looking at our lead measures and our lag measures and where we need to step things up as a company at whole. And this is how they plan the KW Connect training calendar. So this is how they plan our events. All of the content kind of comes together. So as you can see, Keller Williams International is up for closed units, closed volumes, listing taken. Listing taken though is down year to date and listing taken volume is down year to date. But all the others are up. Now let's go to our next slide here. This is our office. So I didn't put the little pluses in, but you can see closed units up 48.8% month over month, 16.9% year to date. Closed volume. Do you guys see this? Oh, closed volume 123.8 up month over month, 31.9 year to date. Listings taken, we're holding at no growth, but it's been positive up until now. So we're not upset because we haven't dipped down. And then listings taken, listings sold. You can look at listings sold volume, contracts written volume. It is looking phenomenal, you guys. And, you know, I normally share a screenshot of our lore report that my coach does for me. Do you see where the pink and green are? Can y'all kind of see that? I know you can't read the words. The green is good. And what I want to point out is we have even more green. This is KWRI, and this is us. We have more green and growth than Keller Williams International. So all the hard work we've been putting in is really been paying off. And I put together a little video to celebrate our achievements. And so if you will just give me a second, I will share that with you all. So what do you guys think about that? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Come on, guys, talk to me.
I feel a trend coming on. Every month is a record-breaking month, it seems like, for the last few months. So
Boom.
we're steady improving, steady getting better.
And that's an awesome marketing tip to be able to tell people, look, you need to be buying in the Montgomery area because we're doing way better than the rest of the nation.
Yeah, speaking of marketing, where can we get those stats from? I took a few pictures of those, but.
Well, I'm going to share this slideshow today on our PowerPoint, but that's just our record breaking.
Okay.
And I also shared something in our Facebook group this morning. KWRI is doing their stats. And so every day this week, I'm going to be sharing that percentage increase for Keller Williams International. And so you'll have both locally what we're doing and that content as well. Share it how you want, but just like you're going to point out value in with a seller, if you're serious about building your passive income and your profit share, you're going to be sharing this too, right? Because that's good news.
No doubt.
Anybody else have some thoughts on our record-breaking month? And y'all, when I say record-breaking, I want to say we've been in business over 10 years. Record-breaking for a decade. That's impressive. And that's you guys working your tails off, providing for your families. That's huge. I do not take it lightly. It is very, very real and it is very exciting.
Hey, it's Tiffany speaking.
Hi.
Just looking at the stats, it definitely shows that there's growth and that KW is really, the training and education for our agents, right, is paying off. Because clearly we're leaving our mark in the market, right? So yeah, that's what I see, growth
I love that.
and solid education.
I love it. Leaving that
Training.
mark in the market. Well, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and make sure that you're aware of the awesome work you guys are doing. And we are thrilled. We've had, let's see, it's so funny. Susan, you want to tell them how you kept being like, gosh, we've got so many closings have come through. And we looked at the end of the month count, and it was 61 units.
Yeah, I kept saying, oh my gosh, how many? I've never checked the transactions, guys, before we've gotten to the end of the month because I'm just doing all the things every day. And 2 weeks into the month, I was like, what is going on? I literally can't do any more work but process checks, right? So I'm trying to figure out what's happening. I looked, and 2 weeks in, we were already at 30 transactions. And I said, okay, I don't know if we will be record breaking this month, but if we're not, we're going to be very close. Yeah, well, 61 transactions. What was our record before? 48?
48 was our record before.
Yeah.
So we exceeded that.
I thought, good Lord, I'm going to have to get an assistant to do my work for me so I could just do this all day.
Oh yeah, it's so fun. But it was kind of funny. She was like, I told you guys there's been
I told y'all I was working.
So great job, guys. Great job. And in October, when they're like, oh, it's probably a slow season. There's this joke that realtors hibernate at Thanksgiving and wake up as Easter bunnies. So that's not us, right? We're not waiting for a spring market. We're in the market of the moment, whatever that may be. Come COVID, global pandemic, we're going to jump on Zoom. We're going to train. We're going to work our tails off, and we're going to adapt and thrive. And so I'm so, so, so proud of you guys. And I hope that you guys can hear that and just give yourself a pat on the back. I mean, that is really impressive. And we are excited to see this continue. We got to bust 69 units wide open in November. Okay. So we're excited about that. It's not all transactional, it's relational, but it is great to celebrate this. All right. So a little bit about Business Planning Clinic, because I just wanted to give you guys a taste of what it is. I think that some people may see, oh gosh, another, half-day training. There is infinite value. They have updated it. It is more modern with some of the techniques and strategies. Some of the exercises have been updated. So if you've taken a business planning clinic in the past, even the one I held in September and October, it was an older format. So it's new and been updated, but here are some of the things that you can expect from this day and why it is vitally important that if you plan on running a business, you have a business plan. Okay. If you plan on just running a one-man operation and just kind of selling some houses, you don't necessarily need a business plan because you're just kind of at the mercy of whatever's going to happen that week. But if you're going to run a big business and operate like a business, you're going to need a business plan. So this is the value that you're going to get from the business plan. So starting out the Business Planning Clinic, we talk about in the first few chapters of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It talks about why it's important to not just jump into being a millionaire real estate agent, but to thinking like a millionaire real estate agent. So there are a few items that you're going to want to look at when you start thinking like a millionaire real estate agent. So the foundational items are, you're going to look at that big why. You're going to be powered by your big why. We've done some classes and exercises on how to develop that big why. If you're not sure what that is, you're also going to think big goals and big models. Can you guys see what's behind my shoulder? Think big goals and big models. And you can see how you can start with small habits and you have a small business. But the bigger habits you create over time and production, you're going to have bigger models. So it's very important that if you are modeling your business after something, and we all are, right? Whether it's that pre-license course and we're like, oh, they prepared us to run a big business. You have something in your head that you're modeling what you're doing, your behaviors and your habits after. So just make sure that those models you're following are what you want to be following. So you want to build a big business, you want to make sure that you're following a model of a foundation to do so. You also want to think value in customer service and experience. So a high level customer service, a high value proposition, those are going to be foundational to building that business and thinking like a millionaire real estate agent. And then there's some supportive items, right? You're going to think competitively and strategically, think action and accountability, think talent, systems and standards, think knowledge and skills, think persistence and resilience, and then you're going to think profit. And so all of this actually comes from page 67 through 95 in the MREA. If you want to look through more of that, and then we talk through some examples of this in the business planning clinic. Let's see. And then the fundamental models that we talk about and we're going to apply to your business in the business planning clinic that come from the MREA are the economic model. So to achieve the amount of net income you desire, that's where you're going to look at, hey, I want to make X amount of profit next year. Now, what we do know though, is there is a myth that your gross commission is your net commission. And those that are applying business principles that are following the economic model know that gross and net are not the same. You have got to accommodate cost of sale and expenses. And we look at that and dive deeper into that. Your lead generation model is where your money comes from. How many leads do you need to generate to get the number of leads that you can convert that gets you the income you want? Your budget model is going to be looking at where your money goes. So you need to spend X amount of money in specific areas to support these efforts. So any training or conferences or things like that, that needs to be applied. Any licensing fees or continuing education or marketing or rent, all of that's going to need to be applied to your budget, and you need to use that as a model to benchmark where you're at if you're going to have big goals, right? And then your organization model, when to hire and who to hire. So if you have a number of transactions you're trying to reach, the threshold from the MREA is 36 transactions. Now, we do know multiple agents that do over 36 transactions as a solo agent, but you want to look at that life balance, counterbalance, and where are you spending your time? Would it be more efficient to have some help, whether that's someone helping you with marketing part-time, someone helping you full-time as an assistant, an additional buyer on your team? All of those structures are inside the organizational model. And then, of course, the expansion model, which is really new, and it may be the first time that you're hearing this. We are blessed with our operating principle being of an operation of an expansion team. So we're kind of a little bit more familiar with this. But that expansion model is basically when your business is so systematized and you are doing so excellent in your market, you have maxed out your market, and you then have to have agents on your team to expand and to be scalable in a different market and a different location. So you want to look at, when is it the appropriate time to expand? Are your systems solid enough to withhold an agent in a different location? So all of that are the things that we look at in the business planning clinic. And that's why I want you guys to see the value in what we talk about, because it's vitally important for your business if you're going to build a big business. Just to highlight a couple of things, and then we're going to have a agent speak on how she's using Command. The reversed bold 100 is something that we have talked about before. If you guys are kind of new to the call, it's and not in bold. It's basically where you have someone, you give them a reason to call you so that you can collect their information and you can put them to your database. And so there's a way to grow your database very quickly via the bold 100. This tip is from the Pivot Shift Ahead. We've had people come and speak on it. Ellie McIntyre spoke to us. Shacarol, you kind of did a little bit of this where you did that giveaway. You want to touch on that real quick?
What I did was I partnered with a local photographer and we did a giveaway. I purchased a packet, a small mini photo shoot package, and I got, what did I say? It was like 50 something contacts just for, I paid $50 for the photo shoot, but that's 50, well, I already had 8 of those people, so like 46 people, and added to my contacts. And I've been on them. I've had a lot of people say, well, not right now. Waiting to next year. A lot of people at this point, are waiting to next year. But I'm still cultivating them because some people don't know that they're ready because they
That's
don't
right.
know what all they need.
Right.
And some people aren't ready, but if I keep in contact with them, my 2021 will be awesome.
That's right. That's right. And it's about building the pipeline and
Mhm.
seeing how many leads you need, right? We need a lot of
Yes.
leads to have a lot of transactions. Has anybody else tried something similar to this as say what they call a bold 100 or bold 200? Anybody else on the call want to share? Okay. I just like giving everybody an opportunity. Before we move further, because I didn't do a special slide and I've been a little bit scrambling this morning, I want our bold people to tell us how bold is going. Bold October is wrapping up tomorrow. So how is bold going for those of you attending?
I guess I'll go again. It is really making me bold this go around, because like I said, mentioned before, when I first took it, I was just getting all the information and was a tad bit overwhelmed. But now that I'm in the trenches, getting contracts and having some closings, I'm actually implementing those things now. So it makes a lot more sense to me now. And so I'm becoming more bold now. Is really helping. And I'm getting a lot more ideas and things, lead generating things to do. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of times I get more out of talking to the other agents on the Facebook page, because they're in it with us, and honestly, it's the coaches, they chime in too. So sometimes I get a little more because that's more personable.
I love it. So they're being able to build that community virtually so that you can
Yes,
still be in that productive environment.
and the networking.
Yes. Awesome. Justin, I know you've had a lot of great results from Bold. You want to share?
I have one being just self mastery, just being comfortable being uncomfortable. Instead of like Shacarol said, being bold, just getting out of my comfort zone. Some of the stuff is very new to me. So, and then just being purposeful, putting things on my calendar. They always say if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist, and that's true. I found, I'm like, God, I forgot to do that. And I was like, yep, should put it on my calendar. And so another thing is just sales language, learning how to communicate with people the right way, asking those great questions, and then going 3 deep into that conversation, trying to find their motives and what's really hitting their heart and why they're selling and what they're doing and stuff like that. So that's been really good for me.
Awesome. Layla, here, sweet baby. Do you want to share?
Yes, ma'am. I had a call this morning again for another listing. So I'm looking at leaving 2020 with 3 listings and 1 closing coming up in a few days.
I'm telling you guys, I'm going to buy confetti. I promise I'm just going to buy some confetti so I can just like throw it around.
Yes, so I'm thinking that I'm going to have 3 listings. I'm taking one exactly that the call that came this morning. So I'm going to have 2 executed listing agreement. And I have a closing coming up this November 30th, right after Thanksgiving. And my whole problem has been always since I became an agent, I think it was my mindset. And sometimes I get just overwhelmed and just can't do things. But learning how to plan, time block, avoid distraction, and the real estate talk, the terminology, And bold, I'm gonna take it over and over unless I just miss registration. Every time I take it, I learn something new.
Layla,
So,
I
I'm
love that
loving it.
so much. And you guys, if you ignore everything else we talked about today, just take Layla's
I'm loving it. Time
example.
blocking, distraction, because I have a baby, I have another job, and I'm doing real estate. It's just working.
You got to learn how to
Yep.
plan. You said something so significant, learning how to plan. That's awesome, Layla. We
Thank
are
you.
so proud of you. And it's all possible. It's just really that calendar and the time block. And I think everybody talked about that. And one thing is you got to put yourself in the environment to be able to do it. So if you're still mindset that you're, oh, woe is me, you have that, what we talked about, right? Growth mindset or victim mindset. You can choose. And you can stay and remain in whichever one you want to be in. If you're in the growth, that's going to be active. It's going to be action. And so thank you so much for sharing. Does anybody else on the call taking bold that want to share?
I do, Katie. This is Tiffany.
Hi.
And really, I'm just going to piggyback off of everyone else, Shakira and Justin and Layla. I know the biggest thing for me this time around, I think, was, like I said, implementing, but just having my conversations are different, I find. So if I can take one thing from bold, like my conversations that I have with leads, with my sphere of influence, it's just different. So now I'm finding myself, asking, so what does that date mean to you? Or what does that area mean to you? And just digging deeper. And I have a closing that's coming up at the end of the month, but that couple, they were so on the fence about everything to where they said, we'll just wait until next year. But when I went deep into that conversation, what's important right now? Or, what does that mean to you? And I got those scripts from both. And we went, got them pre-approved, went out shopping, found the house, and under contract on it, all because we went like deep into that conversation. They realized, and they told me, like, you know what, it is the time right now for us to go ahead and buy. We don't want to renew another lease. We will, go ahead and take advantage. So, Bo, it works.
I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is like my favorite day, you guys. Tuesday, we get to come together. We get to talk about all these awesome things, and you guys get to share what you're learning and applying. I just love it so much because this is just, you talk about being impactful. And I think that's kind of like one of those like hallmark, it could be on a coffee cup almost, like I'm impactful or I want to be impactful. Mm-hmm. That can be chatter unless you're being intentional with what you're doing. And you guys are being extremely intentional, and the payoff is in the numbers. The proof is in the pudding, and you guys are impacting your community. You're leaving your mark on the market, as Tiffany McCall said, and you are really impacting your family. That's significant. That is so significant. And I couldn't be prouder of you guys. So I'm proud to be your team leader. Moving forward, before I get even more gushy, Sarah Little, are you on the call?
Helps if I unmute it, doesn't it? Yes, I'm here.
The quote of 2020, you're on mute.
Yep.
So yes, new task. Tell us about tasks. Tell us how you guys are using it. And if you want to share your screen, you should be able to.
All right. So let me ask everyone, do you ever feel like, do you guys ever feel like you're pulling your hair out, trying to remember, did I send an earnest money check? Did I do this step and this step and this step? And do you guys always feel like you're just playing catch up all the time and pulling your hair out? Anyone?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, in my previous life, I try to ignore it nowadays, but it's hard to. I was a C personality, so I'm very big on systems, and Command came out with, the new system this year, and I've been using the heck out of it, every tool that it possibly has. And so one of the things is tasks. And the thing that most people aren't using is the fact that you can set up your task, and once you set it up one time, it'll be on every one of your transactions so that you don't have to remember it. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that today and the checklist that I go through. So I know you guys all have to put an opportunity in and put your documents in and press submit. That's the bare minimum that everyone's doing. but you can actually change your status from, okay, we're searching for a house, to we're now under contract, we're now in the home inspection period, we're now in the appraisal period, home inspection, blah, 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 blah. So I'm going to show you how to do that so that you don't go insane. It's just a matter of logging into your computer every day and check marking what has been done. And it has to be a daily task, if not the second that the task happens. Otherwise, it's pointless if you're not going to keep up with it. So if you're going to do this and want to keep your life simple, it'll be a lot easier for you. Let's see, share screen. You cannot share screen while the other participant is sharing.
I'll stop. Now try.
Okay. Let's go with this one, share. All right, can everyone see my contact? Brandy Schwartzman, okay. So I'm already on the opportunities. I've deleted this one, so ignore that that's even there, because I'm gonna create a brand new opportunity from start so that you guys can see where I'm at now and then how to create your own as well. So I just simply went to contacts, typed in her name, and then I'm gonna create an opportunity. If I go too fast, someone holler at me, say something. Okay, so she is a buyer. Now, it is very important that if it is a husband and wife, that you put them both in here so that the opportunity shows up under both of their names and not just one of their names. KW Montgomery doesn't care so much, but for keeping up with your life and your sanity, you're going to want to put both people in here. And you just simply find them as your contact. Estimated close date is going to be December 8th. And they are at 270? No, they were at 260. 3% commission. Okay, so there's an opportunity phase and there's an opportunity stage. The phase is they are active, and normally I would have already done this, but I wanted to give you guys a good example. So anyways, they were in negotiations, and y'all won't have this step. It's just because we're a team. So ignore this last step. All right, press create. And let's go here. Okay, so all I did was clicked on the opportunity, and it brings me to this opportunity over here, as if I had already clicked on them in the opportunities. Now, again, because I'm a C personality, it helps me keep up with who is buying what if you go ahead and put in the property address right here. Because if you're looking at them in a grid style, you'll be able to see addresses on those grid styles for each and every single person. So she is buying 125 Heritage Hills Drive, save. All right. So as you can see up here, I've got 0 out of 4. Those are the tasks that I have for her being in, where are we at? Negotiations. So the stage is negotiations. So I have 4 steps for the negotiation stage, which is type up buyer paperwork. Well, I already did that. I sent the offer and the pre-approval letter to the listing agent. I need to put the initial offer into command. And I'll do that in a second. Y'all follow me on what I mean by putting the initial offer in command? I hope so. Okay. And then upload the buyer docs to command. So I've already done all those. So you can see that we're in negotiations, and the next one is legacy. But the way to change that, where all of these checklists will show up, is under the details page. So right here under this pencil, you can change her from active to under contract. And what stage is she in? She's in the home inspection period, and then just save again. And so now I've got 12 new tasks I need to do. Okay, I sent the buyer 3 home inspectors to choose from. I made sure she knew I was not going to be at the home inspection because it's a conflict of interest. These are your tasks that you can create on your own. If you don't want to do all these, that's up to you. Buyer did schedule the home inspection. I think I got the CBS code. I need to check my text messages on that and get the CBS code to the inspector, and then so on and so forth and so forth. So there's steps every single way. Now, if you get to the next stage and you see this page where it says no checklist items, just simply click create from template and magically they're there. It does that all the time. So let's go back to sales pipeline. Okay, so this is what you normally see when you click on the opportunities. You'll see all of your people, buyers, sellers, everyone. So let's just say I clicked on the buyers under contract. You can see each one of them. And this is why I say it's important to type in that address, because you can see Margaret Mitchell is buying Allen Drive. Elisa Jones is buying County Road 49. I can see that in this screenshot without having to keep up with who is buying what. And the cool thing about this page is you can slide them to the next stage if you want to. But again, I showed y'all under details, you can do the same thing. And you can see the tasks on this page as well. So you don't have to click on someone specifically. So I can see Margaret Mitchell is at stage 10 out of 12. Well, that's because I'm still waiting to schedule the closing with the attorney and send the calendar invite. So I can update them from right here if I wanted to. Or again, you can click into somebody's name and update their tasks right here. And it's just a simple check mark. And you're not going to screw it up. So if you checked something and you didn't mean to, just uncheck it. There's no wrong or right. All right. So now you're just asking, how in the heck do I start using this? So let's go back. Okay. Might have to log out and go to Katie. Because we're a team, I can't probably do this under me. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to double check just one more time. Under each one. Okay, there it is. Okay. So all I did was clicked on one of them. It doesn't matter which one you click on to start. Either way, you have to start somewhere. So let's just say I started with the listings that are active, and then there's the edit stages button right here. So I created stages. Add stages. First, you've got the pre-listing, you've got the active, you've got negotiations, and then legacy is the same thing as saying it's going to under contract, which then it would go from active to under contract. I'm speaking really fast. Is everyone keeping up with me so far? Okay. So first you want to add a stage. The first stage, like I said, is pre-listing. So you've talked to them on the phone. For me, I have 5 stages for this. I've got the listing presentation. And if you're going to be taking notes, now would be a good time. Send them comparable properties.
This is also being recorded and going to go to YouTube channel too. So if anybody needs to come back.
Sweet. Okay. We all know documents are very important. So I put in here very specific things that you can see when you hover. I put in that we need the RECAD, the exclusive right to list, the net sheet, the septic tank, the lead-based paint, seller's disclosure, everything that's needed. You do not check mark this until all of them are present. Or this is your life. You can say, I got the RECAD. I got the blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can do separate checklist items if you want. But for me, this is how I keep up with it. So listing presentation, CMA, documents, make sure that they fill out the MLS profile sheet and schedule a picture day. So once I've done all 5 of those steps, then I know that we can move them on to the active listings. And for me, I've got 12 steps for active. So we turn in our paperwork here to Bev so that she can also look at it. So, but then we have to put it in command. We put the sign up. We put a lockbox with at least 1 key. We have agent feedback sheets that we put inside of the home, asking agents to leave feedback. But it also tells them, please make sure you lock the doors, turn off all the lights, and leave a business card. So anyways, I put those in every single home. Lockbox assigned to the MLS so that whenever someone uses your lockbox, you know who and where they're at. Edit the pictures before you put them in the MLS. Listing input in MLS with pictures. So basically I'm just saying, put the listing in the MLS with pictures. Put any disclosures into the supplemental documents for MLS, because it just saves your a ton of time if you just go ahead and put the seller's disclosure, septic tank, lead-based paint in MLS. That way, when an agent asks for it, you can just automatically say it's in MLS. Where am I at? Put in just already said that. Market on social media. Send seller the MLS listing from the MLS so that they can edit it, they can read it, they can critique it, whatever they want to do. And then add them to a current client smart plan. So I created a smart plan that just basically says to follow up with them every single week, so that I'm forced to call or text them every single week and follow up with them. And this is for my buyers and for my sellers. It's not specific. It just says basically follow up with them. So that is my active listings, and they will stay on all 12 steps until we get an offer on the house. It'll just stay in that stage. So once we get an offer, I will then move them to negotiations. And there's only 2 steps. Add the offer to command, offer net sheet to the seller, because we all know you have to have a net sheet at listing, at offer, contract, and any price changes. So this is how I keep up with, that's the biggest thing, is making sure you always get a new net sheet, because you did a net sheet for the listing, but did you remember to do a net sheet for the offer? And then I don't have anything for legacy. I just always move them straight to under contract. So let's move to under contract. Edit stages. All right, so I've got contingent, inspections, appraisal, financing, and clear to close. And whenever you're creating these stages, honestly, these numbers right here, they don't matter. You could say 100, you could say 10%. It's not going to matter. It doesn't mess up anything. It doesn't make anything happen. The biggest thing is naming the stage correctly and then adding your steps in the stage. So for contingent, there's a lot of steps. The contract is signed by the buyer. Get buyer's pre-approval letter. We need a net sheet for the contract price signed by the seller. Disclosures like the lead-based paint, seller's disclosure, septic tank, all signed by the buyer. Contract disclosures and net sheet are sent to Bev, who does our paperwork. They are also, come on, uploaded in Command. I sent the contract to the closing attorney and CC'd the buyer's agent so that they know who the closing attorney is and how to contact them. I received the earnest money and made a scan. Offer accepted in Command. Submit commission request. MLS listing changed to contingent status. Order the home warranty. Get the realtor feedback sheets from the listing. Put up a sale pending sign.
Hey, Sarah,
Hey,
because I know you probably have these all listed out on a document somewhere. Do you have that listed out somewhere? Or you just manually added them all to Command?
I added them all at one time to Command so that I never had to worry about it ever again.
Okay, so you don't have a
Want me to
document
print them off
somewhere?
instead of going through each step.
Well, no, I was just wondering if there's something we could share with the agents that they could just kind of copy and paste and customize. So we could talk about how to get that later.
Okay.
If we even screenshot or something so that you guys can kind of dig deeper and then everybody can customize it. Because this is a great template. I just wish that we could apply it to others.
I mean, do you want me to keep going? Or are we on?
No, you're good. Is everybody, seeing the value in these checklists?
For me, anything is easy to fall through the cracks. I mean, I might get the contract and put it in command, but oh crap, I forgot to send it to the attorney's office or whatever. So this keeps me from losing my mind and remembering what all has been done for every single stage.
And there's a million little pieces from contract to close. And
Yes.
so we need to leverage the tech to help us so that we're not like relying on Post-it notes or sticky notes or this, that, and the other, that it's all.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh yes. So like under my inspections, I've got 6 tasks. Get the home inspection scheduled. Make sure you send the CBS code to the buyer's agent and the home inspector, or both. Tell the sellers when it's scheduled for. Receive the repair request. Have everyone sign it. Change the listing in MLS to pending. And it's funny because most of this is just automatic for all of us, but it can get confusing when you have more than one deal going at a time.
Right.
Or you forgot to get a signature on something. So anyways, appraisal, only 4 steps. The lender ordered it, the appraisal was received. And so then we moved on to get the termite inspection and schedule the closing with the attorney. Now, again, you can make this task be earlier in the game if you want to. Financing, make sure the lender has everything that they need. Make sure the attorney has the termite inspection. Make sure the attorney has the home warranty. And make sure the attorney has any bills that's needed for escrow. So a contractor's bill or whatever. And the last stage, of course, is closed.
The best stage.
Yay. And I've only got, let's see, 6. So upload your commission check and the CD to closing. I mean, to command, Lord of mercy. Change the MLS status to sold. Tell the seller to cancel their homeowner's insurance. Change the status in command to past client. Instead of them saying that they're a seller or buyer, you want to change them to a past client so that you can always keep up with your database. I actually need to delete this because Zillow now automatically populates. So that's gone. And then market the sale on social media. You want to be recognized not only for, hey, I'm working with these people. I've got these people under contract. I've got this now closed. I mean, as much opportunities as you can. So it looks like you're always busy. And that way people are drawn to you because she knows what she's doing or he. So that was my listing stages, but is to first go to one of the steps and create your stages with the steps. And then every single time you create a brand new opportunity, it's going to automatically populate every one of these stages based on you moving them into the next stage. So do this with your buyers and with your sellers, and it's going to help you a ton. Now, I can get all my stages sent over to Katie so that she can send them over to you guys if you want. And
anybody interested in that? Yes. And, I think what I would do is whether or not we have Sarah's and you want to start working on this right now, one time, block out some time and think through literally everything you do with somebody, any action that you need to do with anybody in your pipeline, and look at it through the lens of a high level customer service and providing value. So even if it's just like call, like she said, call to keep up, call to remind what's going on this week. You want to make sure that you can get as granular as you want. And if it's too granular and you get to seeing you've got too much going on, you can edit any of that. But I would really take some time and really walk through the whole process from lead captured to closed and to even past client, how you want that to look. You need to map it out. And then when we get Sarah's over to you, you can take what she's got and say, oh, I'd rather do it this way or this way.
Absolutely.
Take some time and plan and put it in command, and then it will just template so that you can use it on all future clients.
And going back to what Katie was just saying, like on my buyers clear to close, I make sure I get a closing gift for them and ask for a review for them to do on Google, Zillow, wherever that you want them to send you a review, because that's an easy thing. Okay, we close, yay, moving on. So, and I don't know if you guys know, but there is already a smart plan out there for buyers that just closed on a house. It's like 6 weeks after closing. That way you can, hey, did you guys move into your house all right? Did you get the deed yet? I mean, just simple things so you can follow up with them for the next 6 weeks after closing. Because that's crucial. Most people expect you to get a paycheck and never speak to them again, but you don't want to do that.
And that's why they don't remember our name to use us again.
Right, exactly. So anyways, I will get these stages over to Katie, and y'all seriously start using them because it will save your life.
I love that. And what Sarah is not saying is she actually simultaneously runs 2 businesses and is in charge of, multiple teammates, making sure that everybody is facilitated. So she's using this at a high level to really scale that business and grow both businesses, because you also keep up with property management, which is a lot to keep up with as well.
Yeah,
so,
it's like 85 properties.
So this is how you treat it like a business, as you leverage the technology to make your life easier.
Oh, yeah.
And so thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate you for sharing. Let's see, how do I get back to finish us up? So we're going to look at team feature of command next week. And like I said, Veterans Day images and things are inside of Command Designs. You simply take this KWDBA, make sure the KW Montgomery is there, and you can share it out. You can send out text messages, however you want to do it. And, a kind of a cute thing to do would be, on Veterans Day, most people kind of post pictures of their time in active duty. This would be a great message to respond and say, thank you so much for your service, to just solidify, not, Sarah Little, the friend of mine, but also Sarah Little, the realtor. And so just to make sure, we always want to be top of mind and mindful as we're coming from contribution, because it is a little bit, we're in business to make a profit, right? So it is a business, but we do want to come from contribution. Same thing with these cute little Thanksgiving posts. We will be also sharing them on our public page. So you're welcome, of course, anytime we share anything, share it on your private social media, or if you have a business page, or create your own and use it at will. Just to remind everybody, there are fall masterminds coming up, and you can register through Connect if you want to look into those. That's 2 days. And thank you for joining us today. That is our business meeting. I trust that you guys got a lot of value out of it. I sure enjoyed celebrating our growth. And I love meeting with you guys on Tuesdays. Let us know if there's something that, hey, you got going on and you'd like to hear more about. We will be continuing to go through the MREA. We will continue talking about growth. We will continue talking about technology and how people are using it at a high level. So like Sarah, this came from a conversation yesterday of her using the checklist. I was like, oh my goodness, you've got to share this with the agents. If you're using a feature of command or not a feature of command, but it's technology or something that has just really changed your business and you want to share on business meeting, just let me know and I'll be happy to share that, because we are all a team. Together we achieve more, and we love to share ideas with one another. So I hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Bye guys.